Hello guys, it is Polly. How are you guys today? I was just coming in to see how everybody was doing. I haven't gone live in a little bit, but I'm going to try to see how everything goes. This week I just started a new position, so I have to train, so that's going to be interesting. So, yes. But I came on today for our poly group to have some more discussion. If someone would like to come in and have, discussions with me or ask questions, we can do that. But yeah, I did have some good experiences and conversations I'd like to share with you guys. And so I'm doing that. Hey, Jack, I am dual streaming today. I want y'all to know that. So I'm dual streaming. So on top here, I have my tagged account, and for you guys on here who coming to see me, how you doing? And I am double streaming. I also stream on Facebook. So I'm below. I'm actually in my group streaming this time, which sometimes I'll go back and forth. Like it depends on whatever I feel. But today is what we're doing. So up top, tag people. I may talk to them up top, and then in here. We have Facebook. If someone's in here, they want to have a conversation with me. Either way, I'll be looking at both screens, and we'll have those conversations. So I'm gonna just kind of set my little mood up here. I don't want to be too loud. So basically, can you just open these blinds a little bit for me? So today, I'll open the blinds for me. Thank you. That was right back where it was. That makes no difference. Okay. Anyway.
They stole that beat.
Anyway, I wanted to kind of talk today about our words. Our words. Everybody knows in poly life is a lot of communication that needs to take place. Or we try to have a lot of communication so that we're all on the same page, and consistently having conversations with our partners ultimately will be a positive thing. So that's what we want to do. So I just had a little experience. I had experience the last couple months. So I've been kind of dating and trying to date people or whatnot. I've had some failed dating experiences where the communication wasn't there. And so I want to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important, and people don't realize how important closure is. Not even just closure, being able to communicate what we actually want and need, because some people are just really bad at that, and that's okay. But working on getting your partners to communicate better, working on get them to communicate with you better is awesome. So if you can really do that, it'd be great. But yeah, like I said, I was dating before. I even had someone, I don't know what happened ultimately at the end. It sounded like it just wasn't going to work out. And I wanted them to, kind of go through that process of separating. And I don't think they knew how to do it. So what happened is basically they just didn't do anything. They didn't say anything. They didn't communicate. It was over. I got, like you said, both got ghosted is what we're going to call it. Just moved on and went on with their selves and their lives, and their day continues. But you leave that person behind with questions, or they kind of figured it out, I guess, if you want to say it. But I mean, there was no conversation on, hey, this isn't working because of this, and this. There was nothing. So you leave that person weird. And then you leave it where, especially if you're in a poly community, where people interact with each other all the time, you leave that person in a weird place. So then if you ever interact with them again at any time, it's a weird situation where you don't know, what to say, or when you see them, how to act, because you've made that space weird. So you definitely want to learn how to close your relationships up. That is one thing I'm going to give advice for everyone in here. Learn how to end relationships well. It's never going to be well because you're ending something, but end it in the best possible way. Try to communicate what's going on. Even if it's like, hey, me and you are just on the same page, we're not clicking. So, at this point, if we're not going to move further with, trying to do something about this, then this probably isn't something that we're going to continue with. We're just going to end it. Like having that communication, even if it's not positive in what it is, it's still positive that the person knows that, this is why we couldn't continue. at this time. Even if arguments come up, same thing. If you can't communicate with your partner why you're having problems, say, hey, right now I don't know how I feel. I'm not really sure. I'm emotionally torn and I need more time to process my feelings. So I make sure that what I want to express to you is what I want to express to you. Don't ever think that that's not something that's important to tell your partner. So that's one thing. I did have that happen. So we want to learn how to communicate with our partners, learn how to have some dialogue, have those interactions go well. So also, if you are a person who is, I'm gonna tell you, for polygamists usually have this down, the men, and then the women, polyandry women, this is really exciting, is that I felt like through like this little time here, you have to realize your position in it's usually only polyandry and polygamy I'm talking about this time. Okay. And the reason I'm talking about that is because when we're communicating with each other, just realize when you're a person in that position of polygamy or polyandry and you're the only woman or only man, that they don't want to say it because they're like, oh no, we're a group. Okay. But you are kind of leading. Those people are there for you. They're joining there because of you. A lot of times they're not there for each other. And if they are, that's wonderful that they're supportive, even sister wives. But at the end of the day, they're there because you're there. And so you have to communicate a little bit different. You got to learn how to talk. You got to learn how to communicate. And people are like, oh, well, you're just trying to learn how to do game. No, I'm not learning how to do game. This is what it is. Communication. People devalue communication so much. Being able to be an effective communicator, it is in itself like the best skill to have. Being able to come to someone, knowing that that person reacts to things a certain way, learning how your partner will react when they're upset, knowing that when they get upset, they shut down, or when they get upset, they get this way, they get loud. You need to actually learn the person that you're communicating with so that you know how to approach them. Approach is always the deal. Approach. So communicating through approaching them, knowing how to communicate with them. And I did see a little video where a woman was kind of talking to her husband, and this is the whole situation. I'll tell you what happened. So she was trying to communicate with him, and she felt like he wasn't showing his boys what to do. So what she basically started saying was, oh, the kids that I didn't birth, first off, but the kids I didn't birth, you let them sleep all day. They don't do anything all day. And, and she just kind of going on. She's like, they're acting like you. They sleep in the bed all day. They wake up when they want to. They don't clean up, acting just like you, right? And the lady, I think her name Inya, or I always forget her name, whatever. But, and I apologize for that. I'm really bad with names. But she, went and talked to him, showed her how to communicate with him. And the way she did it was different. Sometimes when you're communicating with your partner, this is a very good thing to do, is learn that people like to hear positives with negatives sometimes. They need that. Reinforce a positivity, because if you really care about a person, you're not trying to tear them down, you're trying to build them up, right? So remember that when you're going into that. You're not there to be like, oh, you're a horrible person. You're not there to tear them down, because when people do is when you tear them down, they defense and then it goes bad. Tell them, hey, there's different ways to approach it, but when the way she did it was basically say, the way your boys are acting, that's not how I know that you as a man, want your children to be. You strive for your children, or the men that you want them to be later in life, basically. And so he took that differently. In the tone it was, the way she was sitting next to him, your approach to that person changes. Now, this is a man who's aggressive. Remember what I said, match the energy. And match, when I say match energy, that doesn't mean that when someone's yelling, you just start yelling, because it doesn't work. But if someone is in a bad place, maybe they're going through depression, maybe they're not feeling good, communicating with them the way they need to be communicated to get them where you need them to be. And that's where I kind of brought that back to, if you're a polyandry or a polygamist, remember that you are looked upon as a leader. You have that position to really kind of mold your, whatever you want to do. If you're building a community, if you're, some people want to get money so they can build houses for their kids and they want to build that legacy. If that's what you're doing, a lot of polyandry women, it's a little different for us. Sometimes people are like, oh, what do you guys have? What do you focus on? Hey, Blue Ocean. Like, what are you focused on? And so as a polyandry person, find your goals. A lot of women don't know their goals when they're polyandry. So they're like, what can I do? I'm not a man. I'm not trying to have children. Or if I am trying to have children, things like that. You got to think about, okay, if I'm having kids, this and this and this, whatever. If you're building that, just know that you're the leader and try to have a vision, because they are kind of going with you. They're there with you. You guys can all be together as a collective group, make a plan, or make a plan individually, if that's how you want to do your poly situation. But yeah, a little bit different for polyandry women. But still, if you have a plan, you have a vision for yourself, make that clear. And you have to kind of guide everyone in the direction you like to move. Because that's kind of like your position. They're looking to you, even though you don't think that they are. Even myself, I say, when I have just my men, someone asked me, they say, how do you feel as a woman where the men are with you? Like, how do you feel? And I said, I feel that I am responsible for their happiness. I feel like I'm responsible. Not saying I have to be, I feel, hey Dwight, hey Blue Ocean, I feel like I'm responsible for how we flow, how we move, because they look to me for the relationship. And a lot of times in polyandry, the men don't interact. So I'm the reason why we're all together, basically. And so, how I move, they're going to be like, well, what do you want to do? Are you adding people? What are you doing? They're looking for me. I'm the person. He said, sometimes they call it, oh, you're held up. I'm doing good, Dwight. You're held up on a little bit of pedestal. A little bit. Because they're looking to you to follow. So you gotta maintain, I'm not cheating, I'm not doing this, I'm following the rules, because you want to lead by example. And that's great. So by leading by example, you are held to a higher standard than everyone else. Yes. So when you fuck up, you fuck up. It's a lot bigger than if your boyfriend fucked up and you got two boyfriends. Your boyfriend fucked up, you supposed to fix that and mend that and work with that if you want to. And then same thing with polygamist. And when your girls does something that is out of line, she start talking to the guy because she doesn't feel like she's getting attention, whatever, you're supposed to be there to mend that. You're supposed to figure out what's going on so we can correct those issues. So you're leaving. The other ones are looking at you like, what you gonna do? Because they with you. See what I'm saying? Like, so it's a whole thing. So as a leader, learning how to communicate effectively with your partners is so important. And so I think you guys should really, really work on communicating effectively. And people just say that, oh, I'm going to tell you all this stuff. There are methods to it. If you could find a book, if you want to talk to someone about a situation and ask them, like, how do I communicate with my partner? This is how I feel. How can I communicate this to them effectively without causing a disaster or a chain reaction? Those are things you want to ask someone. There are some people, there's mentors in the groups that we're in. There's some mentors, and then you can also find some books about communicating, effectively. Watch some YouTube videos if you don't have that time. I know not all of us can, do what everybody else can do, get counseling or whatever. But communicating is so important, and doing it the right way is more important, because just because you're communicating doesn't mean it's proper and it's going to get you the results that you want. So I do want y'all to know that. Like I said, I'm here if anyone wants to hit me in my inbox or anything like that about questions or stuff. Say Money Game. I'm dual streaming, so I have Facebook down below and you guys are up top. And so just kind of talking about communication and all that wonderful stuff in poly world. And I wanted to go live. I haven't been live in a little bit, so yeah, how you doing? So yeah, I definitely want to put that out there for you guys here on Facebook. I'm gonna go stream on my page too. I definitely want to hit you guys in here. If you guys have any questions or like the video, let me know. And then you guys we have I think in July there's going to be another meet and greet. You guys saw the video. Everyone had a really good time. I'm glad that they got to interact with each other. And I really was excited about how they gave details, amazing details about how the trip went and how they interact with people, so that others kind of know what to expect when they go there. Like, hey, I flirted with this person, but I was talking to this person. This person was great to interact with, so that you guys can meet them. So remember, we tonight have the Zoom meeting, and so if you go on there tonight, you can meet some people you like to meet, or just hang out, have some interaction. You don't gotta stay in there forever. It's not a commitment to stay in there. You can go and just say hello, just kind of see if you want to interact with some people. It's on Saturday also. If you guys want to go on here and try to interact on these things, it's also available. And like I said, if you guys have been in here and you're still looking for someone, haven't found anyone, remember, you guys can repost your picture and what you're looking for, and we can be able to interact more if you guys want to do that. So feel free to do that. And I'll probably come back a little later, but I just want to share that little bit of information with you guys, and you guys have a good day.